Good morning. I'm Steve Jurens with your live Northeast Radio SD News for Monday, July 27th, 2026. Your news this hour is brought to you by Haler Automotive in Webster, South Dakota. Cruise through brand new, certified used, and premium classic vehicles online at halerauto.com. World-class service, hometown friendliness. Emergency crews responded Saturday after nearly a dozen 911 callers reported multiple small grass fires along South Dakota Highway 22 near Castlewood. The fires stretched from east of town near 460th Avenue to I-29. Castlewood Fire and the Hamlin County Sheriffs arrived after motorists and nearby residents tried to knock down flames. Crews extinguished about 10 fire spots. No structures were threatened, no damage occurred, and no injuries were reported. Investigators say a trailer tire went flat, throwing sparks that ignited dry roadside grass. More than 50 kayakers and paddleboarders turned out for the Watertown Rotary's annual kayak around Compeska. With 44 kayaks launching from Stokes Thomas Park and 23 completing the full 14-mile loop, Cottington County Search and Rescue monitored the route, and participants enjoyed breakfast and fruit cups from Charcuterie Element. This year's paddle honored longtime volunteer Greg Blow with donations collected for the School of St. Jude in Tanzania. Kayakers praised the event's safety and organization, and Rotary is already planning next year's paddle. The South Dakota DOT begins multiple chip seal projects Monday across eastern South Dakota, including Clark County. Work starts on Highway 45 from Miller to Highway 212, then moves through Beetle, Buffalo, Clark, Hand, Hyde, and Spink counties. Routes include Highway 28 west of Carpenter to Highway 25, Highway 37 in Huron, and Highway 20 from 37 to 25. Drivers should expect pilot car traffic control, loose rock, fresh oil, and delays of about 15 minutes. The South Dakota Department of Labor and Regulation will host a Workforce Knowledge Series session on August 13th, focused on cybersecurity, practices for protecting employee data. The virtual training, Guarding the Gate, begins at 11:30 a.m. and covers common cyber risks, essential security practices and compliance obligations, and incident response. The presenter is Dr. Tyler Flagan of Dakota State University, a red team operator and senior technical mentor for the U.S. Cyber Team. Registration is required and attendees will join via Microsoft Teams. 4 Twin Cities men have pleaded guilty to defrauding Minnesota's Housing Stabilization Services program out for roughly $2.2 million. Prosecutors say the group enrolled Brilliant Mind Services LLC as a Medicaid provider, signed up about 350 recipients, and submitted thousands of false claims. When insurers requested documentation, the men allegedly used ChatGPT to generate fabricated records. Each defendant pleaded guilty to wire fraud and faces up to 20 years in federal prison. Attorney General Marty Jackley has announced a draft ballot explanation for a proposed initiated measure allowing the direct sales of homemade raw dairy products. The measure would exempt producers from licensing, permitting, inspecting, testing, packing, and labeling requirements. Supporters must gather 17,509 valid signatures to take it on the 2028 ballot. Public comments are open through August 3rd, and the final explanation is due August 13th. Visitors to Lions Park can now borrow free fishing poles thanks to a donation from Fishing for Life and a partnership between Watertown Police and Park and Rec. 2 racks on the north side of the wall hold poles equipped with basic tackle. Users must bring their own bait and return poles when finished. Residents have praised the program, calling it a community blessing. Watertown police arrested 39-year-old Thomas Lowe Thursday morning after locating a stolen vehicle reported around 7 a.m. Lowe faces charges including theft of a motor vehicle, theft from a motor vehicle, possession of suspected cocaine, possession of suspected psilocybin mushrooms, and drug paraphernalia. He is on probation and being held on two $2,000 cash bonds. Police remind residents to lock vehicles and remove keys. The Hamlin County Sheriff's Office is warning residents about scam calls claiming a $900 PlayStation 5 purchase was charged to their Walmart account. The call uses an AI-generated voice and urges recipients to press a button or call back. Officials say to independently check financial accounts and only contact law enforcement if actual fraud occurs. Residents should not engage with the scam call. And finally, Watertown continues to support Samantha Sam Bruns as she recovers from a medical crisis tied to a rare chromosomal disorder. After intensive Mayo Clinic care, Sam is home but still relies on a feeding tube and has multiple upcoming Mayo appointments. A GoFundMe has raised over $7,100 toward a $12,000 goal to help with the travel, lodging, and lost income. A benefit comedy show, Stand Up for Sam, is set for August 30th at Country Road Barn, featuring a full lineup and silent auction. Your news this hour was brought to you by Haler Automotive in Webster, South Dakota. Cruise through brand new, certified used, and premium classic vehicles online at halerauto.com. World-class service, hometown friendliness. Read more full in-depth stories online at northeastradiosd.com. Check out the Daily News Recap podcast and live interview uploads. And don't forget to sign up for our newsletter delivered straight to your inbox every morning at 6 a.m. With today's local and state news from Northeast Radio SD Studios in Watertown, South Dakota, I'm Steve Jurens.